going to give it a moment or two, let people get in here, and then we'll talk. I'm wearing Mr. Bosa's jersey today because season-ending injury. Damn, as if we don't have enough injured players already. I'll see how this goes, and we'll go from there. See if we can get a few folks in here tonight. Talk about sobriety, recovery, addiction, the 12 steps. My Niners need some recovery right now. Damn, they're the worst 3-0 team I've ever seen in my life. So, hope everybody's week is off to a fantastic start. You're out there getting it. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll give it a minute or two. Slow getting anybody in here right now. But it's Monday night. It's a little later. I keep seeing on TikTok that the end of time is about to happen in Jerusalem or something. I don't know what to make it. The rapture, that's what they're calling it, on September 23rd. It's already September 23rd on the East Coast, so I don't know what to make of that one, but I believe in the Bible it says you will not know the time nor the place when he returns. So how people are predicting this got me. Another TikTok sensation, I guess, huh? Anyways, welcome in, welcome in. What's up? What's up? Full box FR 6-7. I don't know what the deal is with that 6-7 stuff, but 6-7. That's what's up. Welcome in, welcome in. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Talking about recovery from addiction, alcoholism tonight. Talk a little bit about some football. Good game tonight. Good game. Baltimore lost another heartbreaker from another Derrick Henry fumble. I don't know what's going on with that guy, man. That guy's so good. 3 fumbles in a row, 2 of them in key moments. That's crazy. But, you know, I don't know. Football happens sometimes. It's like our kicker, Jake Moody. Sometimes you get in your own head, I think, and you start making mistakes because you're overthinking things. You know, running backs, like they're very instinctual creatures, and when you're overthinking things, that's, you know, like you gotta see the hole and go. You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going on with that guy. But we've been having a bunch of injuries on the Niners, and now a really big one. Nick Bosa out for the season, man. That's rough. So, yeah, that's pretty wild. We already got a ton of injuries, you know what I mean? And now Bosa out for the year. I don't know if we're gonna try to make a move before the trade deadline or what the plan is from here, because I mean we're off to a great start. 3-0 is fantastic, but you know our defense looks a little different without Bosa out there. A lot of people are saying he's been coasting since he got the big contract. That dude stuffs the run big time, and like he's been making big plays when they count in these games to close games out. So this one really hurts. That's why I put his jersey on tonight, his Legends jersey. But, damn. So what's everybody up to tonight? Where are you guys tapping in from? I'm in Southern California. And on TikTok, I'm seeing all these videos about the rapture is coming. What do you guys think about that? Man, TikTok will drive you crazy if you let it. They'll have you thinking all kinds of stuff, you know? But, you know, all you can do is take it one day at a time, right? Like, all you can do is live in the moment. We're here, we're now. Let's do this, you know? Yeah, that's right, Cora. What's up, Cora? L-Town says, are you prepared? Well, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. I think that's as prepared as I can be, you know? So if there's a rapture, it's the CIA. You know what? It's funny because now they're talking about this rapture, and I remember a couple days ago seeing on TikTok that if you see something on September 24th, don't believe it, they were saying. I don't know exactly what that means, if they're saying there's going to be some sort of false flag type of situation. I don't know. But like I said, you know, if you go down the TikTok rabbit hole too far, like it'll drive you crazy. And what's up, Uncle Joe? That's a nice way to start a conversation. Tasty T says more false flags, maybe. Yeah, you know, and I honestly would not be surprised at all. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Devin. Hope you're doing well, though. Edgar says, ICE deported my neighbor's chihuahua. Damn. Are we hiding the chihuahuas now? Has it come to that? That's crazy. So, yeah, you know, my channel, it's about addiction and recovery, but I like to talk about topics that are in the news. So, you know, but at the same time, I do my best to steer away from politics and political topics. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't do that stuff, you know. Why can't we all get along in this world? And to be honest with you, L-Town, I completely agree with you there. You know, the thing is, they like to keep us separated, whether it's Democrat, Republican, whether it's rich, whether it's poor. Like they like to put us in all these different boxes and pit us against each other. And the thing is, to be honest with you, most of us, you know, I have friends whose political views are different than mine, and we don't necessarily agree on those things, but they're good people. You know what I mean? So what I found is, and I've heard others say this, you know, we have way more in common than that separates us. But yet some people take it to extremes and want to like assassinate people for speaking. Like whether I agree with that man or not, that was wrong. Um, you know, like I said, I don't do politics, so I don't really want to. Good one, Cora. Uh, uh, right. Yeah. I mean, Uncle Joe, that they love to put that stuff out there because it divides us. You know. You know what I like, and you know, I like my sports. Could that be? Is that a dividing thing as well? I mean, that's something. Like I love to talk shit about football, but at the same time, it's all love. You know what I mean? If I say your team is garbage and my team's the best, and you say that back to me, that's cool. I love it. You know what I mean? It's not dividing to the point. Like my family, we've got Cowboys, we got Raiders. I'm a Niner. We got Seahawks. Like we got all those things, and we talk shit, and we don't like each other's teams, but at the end of the day, we love each other. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I don't know. Tasty tea. Uh, hey, and that's cool. Justin Price. What is it you don't like about him? Who's your team, first of all, Justin? Let's establish that. The devil is the one separating us. The Lord didn't put us on this world to hate. I agree. You know, the stuff on the news is fabricated. Like everyone in the news are actors for the government. You know what I think, Edgar? I think news channels are fed information and they put a spin on it to go along with whatever party they back. Like Fox is conservative, CNN, MSNBC are liberal, and they take a story like you know say this pool cue, right? And instead of saying the pool cue is lying on the table, like they'll put this big old spin on it, and as a good example, like the gun issue, right? Fox will say, yeah, we need them to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government, right? CNN and MSNBC will say they're weapons of murder, right? Or, you know what I mean? Like, so it's the same thing, but it's the spin that they put on it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Gronberg says Dallas Cowboys. Man, that was rough. You guys lost Micah this year. I don't think you guys aren't off to the greatest start this year, but I got Cowboy fans in the family, and I love talking shit to them. We've had some. L Town says Cowboys all the way. By the way, let's go NFL. I agree. You know what? Excuse me just a quick second, guys. You know, I love my Niners, and I don't. Yeah, Sexy Latina says like and subscribe. I appreciate that, baby. Yeah, definitely like and subscribe if you're new. Definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit all. That way, when I do go live, you'll be notified, and you can jump on and become a part of the conversation. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, I don't have much emotion for football unless it's my team playing. You know, that is my wife, Edgar, the sexiest Latina of all. You can love all the other ones. That one's mine, though. Scott says, this guy stole my bike out of my porch 2 weeks ago. What guy? Let's go find that motherfucker and get your bike back. So, yeah. I keep my gun on me for the simple fact that idiots have guns. People say guns kill people, but that's just a tool for... And I agree with you, L-Town. I am pro Second Amendment for sure. I'm a convicted felon, so I don't have those rights anymore legally. But, the thing is, I feel like if you break into my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, you got something coming, homeboy. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, for sure. And that goes for my family as well, If you break into my home with the intent to do harm, then harm shall be done. You know what I mean? So, and we'll deal with the consequences when they come. Now, I'm not saying that I have firearms in my home or anything like that, but, you get what I'm saying. I'm a convicted felon, so legally I cannot possess a weapon. But, yeah, I agree. Who's Uncle Chuck? I stole your bike 2 weeks ago? Did I stick it in the trunk of my Toyota Camry? Why would I steal your bike? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Knock it off. So, yeah, that's kind of... And I'm an ATF agent. Look for you, Chuck. I don't know what "look for you, Chuck" means, but good for you, Rocky. You're an ATF agent? Wow, that's a good career. I'm proud of you, bro. I almost had a run in with the ATF once. I was doing business in Anaheim. Uh, okay, it was apparently. I was doing business in Anaheim, and I had a guy that was selling for me. I guess you would say he was a customer, right? That would he'd pick up about half ounce twice a week, and very consistent. Could almost set your watch to it. You know what I mean? Like I knew if it was Sunday and I dropped off a half ounce with him, then by Wednesday he'd be calling again. So it was for the sake of the story. Uh, did they really investigate you, Vic? Damn. Just for the sake of argument, let's say I dropped off a half ounce with him on Sunday. I'm heading away, heading back to the freeway, which is like 10 minutes away. And that crystal, Rocky, crystal was my drug of choice, and something I peddled in for a while, I guess you would say. But yeah, I dropped it off with him, was heading back to the freeway. He called me on the cell. This is probably 2001, maybe 2002. I've been clean for a long time, you know what I mean? But I'm heading back to the freeway, and whenever we talked on the phone, it was always short and to the point. Hey, can you come by? I knew what he was getting. He didn't have to say no more. You know what I mean? So, so he calls me up before I even make it back to the freeway, like 10, not even 10 minutes later, and he says, hey, I appreciate that, L Town. Hey, you be safe as well. Appreciate you tapping in. Oh wow, that's crazy, Vic. So yeah, I'm heading back up to the freeway. Like I said, we talked. It was very brief. Hey, Bobby, can you stop by? I knew what that meant because, like I said, his order was consistent, so there wasn't nothing else to say. He calls me up, and he's like, "Hey, Bobby, do you think you could bring me back some more speed? I have a customer or whatever his get down was. I need an ounce. Can you bring me an ounce of speed?" He's telling me this on the phone, and back then cell service wasn't as nearly as good as it is now. So I tell him, "Hey, bro, you know what? You're breaking up. Let me give you a call when I get to a landline," because I knew something wasn't right. So there was another homie that was in the same complex he was in, a couple doors down, that happened to be on my team as well. Uh, so I call him up and I say, "Hey, homie, what's going on over there at Chris's pad?" Because he just called me talking some weird shit on the phone, and he tells me, "Hey, bro," he said, "don't come back." He said the feds just kicked in his door. And I'm like, why in the hell would the feds be kicking in his door? This dude is moving an ounce a week. You know what I mean? He's not crossing any state lines. He's not doing anything that would garner any federal attention. But, you know, but I'm like, okay, good looking out, homie. You know what I mean? Like I owe you one. And so it turns out he had hey, I appreciate that Minecraft catfish. Uh, I appreciate that as well, Scarub. So yeah, it turns out he had some sort of an illegal shotgun. I don't know how they found out about it, but it was ATF that had kicked in his door. And rather than take the heat for the gun, he was going to try to throw me under the bus. So that was kind of my experience with my near miss experience with the feds. No other issues with the feds. Had other instances where it could have been Fed cases. Yeah, that's what's up, Cora. That's right. Niners, baby. Too bad, man. Bosa's out for the year, man. That really breaks my heart because we really needed him right now. We got a lot of young guys on defense, and I know I just switched gears real quick, but uh, man, like I was really starting to feel hopeful. We're winning those close games. We're fighting. We're clawing. We're doing the things we need to do to win those close games. And even though there's a lot of injuries on the roster, like we've we've been doing it. We're winning them ugly ones, which we had trouble with in the past. And now with Bosa out, man, I don't know. Vic says Raider Nation. That's what's up. So, yeah, I mean, rep your team. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're doing. But, yeah, that would have, had I not picked up on something being wrong with that situation with Chris in Orange County, though, I would have ended up in Orange County jail. So, I don't think it would have been Fed charges because it wasn't anything worthy of Fed charges. But that, ironically, all of my business that I was doing was in Orange County, where I had houses set up where people were taking care of business for me. So yeah, Big E is very late. What's up, Big E? Welcome to the party. Did you hear Bosa? Bosa's out for the year, bro. ACL. Damn, that's rough. But ironically, when I started doing business down there, I've heard of Powder Vic, the Peni guy. Yeah, I used to listen to his stories on what was that show called? Stories by a Current Prisoner or something. So
You turned the dryer off, didn't you?
I did. I'll turn it back on as soon as I'm done.
It's okay. I'll let you go dry.
Thank you, baby. When did that happen? When did what happen? What's up, mixed martial artist, MMA? Good win for the Bucks yesterday. Man, the Bucks are another one of those teams. They're clawing back into these games. It looks like it's over. Like, I think the Bucks could be scary this year, to be honest with you. And Baker ain't no joke, So, as far as that story with Chris, that happened. That was probably around 2001, maybe 2002. Could have been as late as 2003. But hey, if they keep playing the way they're playing, and they can not get that injury bug like a lot of other teams are playing, it's a very real possibility. MMA. So I know we play the Bucks later in the year, but we'll worry about that. We'll have some people back by then. So your player getting hurt, the dementia's kicking in. Okay, the player getting hurt, that happened in the game on Sunday. The story I was telling before you came in was about this guy named Chris and a run-in with the ATF back in the day, because somebody in the chat was claiming they're ATF. Nice. I got no issues with law enforcement agencies anymore. Back in the days, I used to hate all them guys. Yeah, I would imagine. I'm glad I never had no run-ins like that. When I was young, we used to transport to Vegas out of Cali, and that could have caught me. That could have caught me a Fed case at like 17, 18. You know what I mean? That's good to know. Nosy, lonely person. Is that your preference? We're gonna have some fun with the trolls tonight. Sudafeds. Yeah. Oh yeah. And we used to, when I was around that age, we were cooking too. There was a guy that my first time in the county, I met this guy, Mark. He was IE guy. And like we'd go around and buy up all the Sudafeds all over town, and then you would make a batch. And I was learning, you know what I mean? I was learning. And then we almost blew up my garage, and that was kind of the end of that. Is it lies, Brandon Wood? What part? Wow. That was an awesome comment. Why is that so much on people's mind? It's always you're gay, or you know what I mean? Like I know you got something stuffed up your butt type of shit. Like, why are people so fascinated by that online? I mean, yeah, you're right, Vic. Nothing better to do. No doubt. Nothing better to do. Projecting, exactly, yeah. They want everyone else to feel their pain. Oh man, literally. You know what? I say this: guys need really Biggie. So is that girlfriend that you were talking about really your boyfriend? What's up, Captain Hook? How you doing? Oh, okay, okay. My bad, Ezekiel. I almost went off the rails there quick. Big E, that's Ezekiel, one of our moderators. That is it. I wonder where G's been at. I just found out I live near oil. Like oil under your property or oh wow, okay. Is it your property? You could be rich. As long as you're not in California. Man. That's cool. That's good stuff. Decatur. Oh, okay, by Fort Worth. Okay, cool. So yeah, in Texas. I got you. That's good stuff. So how does that work? Do you have to like file some sort of petition with the city or something to claim it? Damn. By using oil. Not dealing with your crap tonight, so if you ain't on your best behavior, take it easy, Biggie. Take it easy. Take it easy. Richer is better. Maybe. I mean, money's good. Don't get it twisted. But I don't think money is the answer to everything. You got to be happy, you know. Wow. Okay. But what are you going to do with the oil, Captain Hook? That's Nicholas, right? Yeah, absolutely, Vic. Absolutely. What are you doing tonight that makes you so... Are you talking to Ezekiel? Maybe you should tag him so that there's no confusion. Oh, is that who was doing that? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Somebody told me about that after the live, but I didn't see anything because the moderators were on it. So, good job with that last night. Yeah, and drugs are stupid in my opinion. Like if you've never used them, like why would you even want to start, you know? And if you're addicted, you should get some help. Find an AA meeting or an NA meeting or something and get some help. Right, Vic? Damn. He's trying to go global, huh? From Fort Worth to the Bay to the Golden Gate to the George Washington Bridge down to Texas and up to Canada. Running it all, huh? That's funny. Leavenworth. Yeah, that's where you're going to end up, right? Man. It's funny. I used to always think that way when I was young. Like I keep branching out. Like I started off, I had a couple guys in Orange County. Then I had a guy in Long Beach. Had another guy in Rancho Cucamonga. And, but Orange County was where it was at that time, you know? These were the people that I got, they were working for those amusement parks in Orange County. You know, they like to copyright me. So let's just say the happiest place on earth and Camp Snoopy. You know, people that were working there. How is it everybody doing tonight? Working a lot. last day off today, to be honest with you. Exactly, Vic. Exactly. So, was I a bad person? Maybe. Maybe. At the time, it seemed right, But I'll tell you, I mean, my life has changed so much since I got away from that lifestyle. I mean, I don't have to run around with one of those pew pew things in the car no more because I'm not worried about who may be trying to cause me harm. You know what I mean? For PDD to have fun with all these dumb people coming in here calling you gay because you. Oh, nice. That's cool. You just like to party in your. Yeah, and that was a part of it. I thought I was going to get rich quick, and honestly, had I invested some of that money, who knows, or buried it under a rock somewhere in the backyard, maybe. But easy come, easy go, and it was flowing in, it was flowing out, and uh, there wasn't really nothing to speak of by the time I started getting busted, So, I mean, it was what it was. It was a stage in my life. I learned a lot. But yeah, I'm hoping the Niners can of you what to say. If you win the lottery, does the government take you? Yeah, they tax the hell out of it, bro. Head calls for a soft S from the bus ride to Tehachapi. Man, it's for a soft S from the bus ride to Tehachapi. I don't understand what you're saying there, Vic. I I went up to. They sent me to Delano, and I came out of LA County, and they had us on that horse trailer looking bus. Uh, yeah, it was weird. It had like really little window panes at the top, so you couldn't see nothing out, and nobody could see in. Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt, Vic. Like I'm one of those people. Unfortunately, when I make my mind up about something, I got to bump my head a few times before before I figure some things out. And I think for me, honestly, I felt like I was predestined to go to prison. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can get pulled over for that. Um, yeah, like I felt like I had to live out my destiny before I could change. If that makes sense. That seems so illogical in so many ways. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I feel the same way, Vic. Like all of my kids are doing so much better than I did when I was young. You know what I mean? And ultimately, that's the goal. Is I want my kids to be in a better position than I was growing up. You know what I mean? So yeah. Now I think with my head being clear and stuff, like I'm able to make better decisions, so I don't put myself in situations where that could be the ultimate outcome. And that's a good thing. You know. I mean, I tend to get in my head sometimes about things. I overthink things. I overanalyze things. Uh, if I had one word to the homeless, what would you say? That's a that's a tough one, Captain Hook, because I think many people are homeless for many different reasons. A lot of it is drug abuse and mental health issues. Some mental health issues probably caused by drug abuse. Um, but there's other, that's not it. And California keeps throwing a bunch of money allegedly at the homeless problem, but I think other politicians and people that know the politicians are the only ones getting rich, and I don't think much of it's really going to the homeless at all. So when they say, "Oh, we need more money to battle the homeless situation," no, we need honest people handling that money that are going to do things right. So But I guess if I were speaking to the homeless, I would say don't give up. Figure out what resources are available in your area and do the best you can to use those resources to try to get on your feet, And drugs and alcohol are never the answer, Just handing out money and things that homeless people need. Yeah, my daughter and my son-in-law, they do that around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Not necessarily money, but care packages and maybe some food or something like on Thanksgiving. That way, to help folks out a little bit. I mean, we're not wealthy people by any means, as far as how much money's in the bank, but we are rich in the fact that we have a big loving family that looks out for one another. And, so there's that, and that's why I always say, you never know, like money isn't the ultimate answer. You need money to survive. But if you put a big old lump sum of money into your account, that isn't necessarily going to solve all the problems that you have in life. You know what I mean? In fact, it may make them worse, to be honest. So I'm not saying I wouldn't be down for the challenge of having a couple mil in the bank, but what do you say? If it was that R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, that's all right, Biggie. Tried to kill her and a Reaper beef jerky. That stuff is hot but good. I haven't. Yeah. Yeah, and military is another big portion of the homelessness, I think, because unfortunately with our military, they train you to be a soldier, but when they release you back into society, they don't, there is no training to bring you back. You know what I mean? You're still in that mindset of, like the Marines, I'm a killer. I'm a killing machine. Like, I think they need to debrief, decompress these guys when they get out of the military and maybe send them to a boot camp that brings them back into society. You know what I mean? No, I'm not doing politics, but as long as they're not spamming the chat with that stuff, then that's okay. And as long as it's respectful. So I appreciate you being on it, though, Biggie. You're good. Yeah, and that's the thing, Vic. They expect you to just turn it off automatically. Now, AGC might need a timeout. I don't know what the hell that dude's talking about. Yeah, it's like Cora said, my dad doesn't discuss politics, but he doesn't mind it being discussed in the comments as long as we're respectful and like that, then that's okay. But if you start spamming stuff, you're gonna get booted. Okay, just be respectful in what you're saying, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Try habanero ghost pepper. I've done the ghost pepper stuff before. That stuff's hot. Yeah, there's no reintegration programs, Vic. Exactly, and that leads to addiction, in my opinion, because I don't care what they teach you in the military. The things that you see, a lot like prison, if we're being honest. Okay, well, yeah, if they're disrespecting others, then let's watch that. Hold on a second. When you've never seen extreme violence and stuff like that, and then you get thrust into a world where that's the norm, like maybe the prison system should work on something similar, and as well as the military, to help decompress people, and maybe like counseling or something to help reintegrate into society. because, a lot of soldiers. Hey, what's up, Tim? How you doing tonight, bro? I think a lot of these guys, uh, whether it be prison or the military, they get out and substance abuse becomes an issue, or alcoholism, because you're battling with demons of shit that you've seen that isn't normal. Like in prison, uh, yeah, exactly, Vic. The human psyche isn't meant to deal with war equally, right? You know, you you see things that your mind can't really understand. You know what I mean? Like example, like in prison, somebody's getting removed from the yard, and you got three guys with these big old bone crushers, just stabbing the shit out of somebody, and we're programmed in there that that's none of my business. It's got nothing to do with me. Don't pay attention. But that it's wrong. Or according to the rules in there, maybe it isn't wrong. Maybe that's what needs to happen because that person committed a certain infraction. Well, just like in war, I've heard stories where kids get killed and stuff like that in Afghanistan and places like that. And yeah, and Vic's exactly right. A lot of things that make no sense have to make sense all of a sudden, and that's absolutely correct. And whether it be war, like prison is the only thing I really have to go on. I was not military. I wanted to be military when I was young, but my dad didn't want me to, so I didn't. But so I went the prison route instead, and like you just sometimes you're not ready for the shit that's gonna happen. Even the shit that you have to do to other people. Um, and unless you've been in a situation where like I got sent on not necessarily sent on missions, but I ended up on some missions. There was a pedo in the building we were in, and we were on lockdown. And I've told this story before. I did a full-length video on it. Like, you can go back and find that if you want to hear the full story. But basically, when you are, in essence, trying to take somebody's life away from them, no matter what caused that situation to happen, there's a look in people's eyes. There's sounds that you hear that you will never unhear. There's smells. And, like you, in dealing with those situations, maybe there should be some counseling or something involved. Maybe when you're getting ready to parole, especially after a long prison bid, maybe part of the parole process should be that you need to go to counseling. And maybe they establish a different yard. Like, say you're a lifer and you're going to get paroled, right? So you're going to get paroled next year. Okay, we're going to put you on this other yard over here that has counselors and stuff like that. And I know maybe it wouldn't work because GP, SNY, like all the politics, right? But I think it could help people, because when you're used to dealing with every situation with violence, and then you just get turned loose into the free world, and there's a parallel there with the military, I think. You know what I mean? Tim says, here in New Zealand, they send prisoners to work on farms and get into carpentry, stuff like that. Reoffending rates went way down because they had a life after prison. Yeah, exactly. Like Vic says, sounds of men dying, yeah. Like, what's up, Digital? Glad you made it back. It's Chris from last night. It's good to catch you again, brother. My older brother celebrated his 1 year sobriety today. Shout out to your brother, Chris. That is awesome. Very good to hear. Very good. That is awesome. I love to hear the success stories, because, so many people are struggling with addiction, but we do get clean. And Digital, also known as Chris, just said, my older brother celebrated his 1 year sobriety today. That's great, bro. Tell him to keep on going, man. Yeah, our prison system is crazy, With all the money that they spend on it in California, you would think that the recidivism rate would be a lot lower. And with all the programs that they have, you would think, you know, I don't know. Like, I have a lot of ideas of what they could do. You know, like I said, put them on a different yard for a year. They're getting ready to parole. They're lifers. They got 20 plus years in. Have them have a job. Have them, like, teach them the stuff that a lot of these guys were never taught. Teach them that, okay, you're going to get paid like you're in the real world, but you have to pay bills. You have to pay rent for that cell. You have to pay an electricity bill. You have to buy food. That way, after 28 years or 30 years or whatever it is they did in the prison system, they don't just get kicked out on the streets. And I mean, think about it. Like, a lot of these guys, their original offense, they were 17, 18 years old. Do you think they ever had an apartment? Do you think they ever had a bank account? They ever paid bills? Like, you know, they've grown up, they're state raised, as the term goes. So they never had to deal with none of this stuff. And then you kick them out into the streets, and all they know how to do is gangbang and do dope. So, yeah, that's what I think. They should do something along those lines. You know what I mean? With life is being one with now. Dead City Radio says, you then realize that you don't live your life, but life lives you. Life is the dancer, and you are the dance. Good stuff. I don't know what happened, Michael. I apologize if you got timed out unduly. Yeah, no, I didn't see anything on that. He was my first sponsee. He was a crazy experience in taking a family member through a 4-step. No, you're good, bro. Yeah, and I would imagine it would be. When I went to school for drug and alcohol counseling, and I ended up in this program. I was an intern at the Salvation Army, and I had a caseload of, I wasn't their sponsor per se. I was more like their case manager. And there was somebody in the family that happened to be in that program, and I had to, I couldn't take him on because it was too personal, it was too close, you know what I mean? So I had to, how do you say that, recuse myself? But yeah, no, I get it, bro. We have a quarter of all the world's prison population. Yeah, it's crazy, huh? And there really isn't any correction in corrections. We should do a collab and talk about sobriety after prison. I did 3 years in Trousdale. I would love to do that, Chris. Hey, my email is in the description of this video and all of my videos. If you go to the description, it's there. Hit me up, and maybe next weekend or, you know, sometime in the near future, we could do something like that. That'd be awesome. I appreciate that. He lived, and he would pay money to get some of the prisoners out, and the prisoners would get mad because they had a home outside. Oh, wow, okay. I work at the Salvation. Oh, that's awesome, Chris. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, yeah, I was a part of that in San Bernardino for a while, and I like the program. I do. You know what I mean? The thing is, if you're ready to take those steps to get sober, then it's a great program to be in. You know what I mean? If you're not, then you're not, you know, and it don't matter what program you go to. Hey guys, give me a quick minute. I'm going to run and use the restroom, and then we'll keep this pushing for just a little bit, all right? Give me just a quick second. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Good time to subscribe, hit the like button, do all that stuff, all right? Give me a second.
Looks like it's going pretty good, huh?
All right, I'm coming back right now. I gotta turn on the dryer, guys. All right, I don't know. Probably not on a live, Ezekiel, but yeah, it's good stuff, Chris. I like it. Definitely. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, definitely hit my email, bro, and let's see if we can get something together. I don't know how to do a live where there's somebody else in it, but I do know how to do the StreamYard thing, so we could definitely get together and talk on there, you know? And that's good stuff. Yeah, and that's good. I like it, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Like, it got hot in here. I think it's Jersey. But, oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that sounds real good. Yeah, that's the reason I'm not really doing videos anymore, is because I just don't have the time to edit and do stuff like that. And most of my videos, they're very basic, you know. From my Call of Duty. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that's good stuff. So you're in Memphis? Am I remembering that correctly? I think Memphis is pretty wild too. Yeah, I grew up in San Bernardino. So, yeah, like it was, you know, I don't want to say that I was a product of my environment, because you don't have to follow the crowd. You know what I mean? Even though I did. But, are you blonde all the way? Am that I am? What the hell are you talking about? That makes no friggin' sense at all. LA multiple times. Yeah, and there's wonderful places in LA. There's also some really bad ones, you know what I mean? But I can look for ex-cons or sober people willing to talk about their journey in an interview for some videos if you want. Yeah, that might be cool. It's a blood in, blood out quote. I got you. Okay, my bad. I have an old iPhone 13. I can send you, brother. You need better quality. I'd be happy to donate. Yeah, I appreciate that, but I'm not putting enough into this channel to go any further with it. You know what I mean? Like, I had lighting and stuff. Like, I go live, I turn the phone on and kind of go with it, you know what I mean? I used to have a backdrop that I'd set up and lights and all that stuff, and the quality was a lot better. But, like, now it's kind of more like I'm flying by the seat of my pants. When I have time, I come out, I turn the phone on, I set it down, and I talk to it for a little bit. I talk to you guys, you know? So, but I definitely appreciate that. And it's gotten really hot in here. I think I'm going to step outside. Hopefully the lighting isn't too horrible. I think his Spectrum connection, there's a small outage, so you're a little glitchy. Oh, okay. Now we're going to hear the air conditioner in the background. But come outside and sit down for a little bit. Let your dreams die, brother. I make music and make money off it. And I know it all started as yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, when I first started the YouTube channel, I was like all into it. I was dropping content 3, 4, 5 times a week, and going live on the weekend. But it just became overwhelming between doing the content, trying to hit the gym, family life, and working a full-time job that's an hour away. You know what I mean? So this kind of suffered a little bit. The gym suffered some. Like it's a lot. What's up, Kobe? He says, hi, Bobby. I'm dreading wintertime, kinda. I usually tend to get a little depressed around that time. Yeah, actually, you know what? To be honest with you, I prefer the wintertime, Kobe. Like, I don't do well in the heat at all. Like, I do not like the summertime. But then again, I live in Southern California. So, that's, wintertime, like on a cold night where I live, like it might drop down into the mid 20s. We might get snow on a particular year. We might not, because I'm in the desert, But, yeah, no, I understand, bro. Out to the people who still suffer, who could save lives. And honestly, Chris, that's the only reason I still do the lives is because, I hope to, uh, get in contact with somebody that is going through it, and maybe I can guide them in the right direction, And to be honest with you, these lives, they're therapeutic for me as well, What's up, Minnie Johnson? So, yeah, honestly, that's the only reason I even still do the lives, because I enjoy it, and especially, like, I don't need to have hundreds of people in here to where I can't keep up. I appreciate you, Chris. It's not necessarily about the numbers that are on it. It's the quality relationships that I build on here. You know what I mean? And, when I go to get on live, I think, man, I hope this person or that person pops in tonight and tells me how they're doing. Bit too much time to think. Yeah, and I hear you, Kobe. I hear you. Wintertime can be that way, And then for some people, too, the holidays are a tough time of year, If you've lost loved ones or something. Like, I don't have either one of my parents anymore, you know what I mean? But I do have my family that's here. I have my wife and my children and grandchildren now, you know what I mean? So, because the only thing I have in my room is a fan, and my stepdad has been hogging the AC in the living room. My entire room gets freezing cold. Damn, bro. That sucks. And it gets cold where you're at, Big E. I wonder how Joel's doing. I haven't heard from him in a while. And I wonder where G's been. Those guys. I know how much Big E. Actually, it's a air conditioning unit in the background. It's an AC unit. Yeah, JJ. I was inside doing this live, and it got starting to get a little warm in there, so I came outside. I hope it's not too bad on the audio quality. And from smoke breaking, get them to bed here at the rehab. Gotta go get back to work, brother. Hey, I was really happy to talk to you tonight as well, Chris, and I appreciate you tapping in and participating. Like, your words do go a long way, brother. Thank you. Raggle Fraggle says, how do you feel about Indians? How am I supposed to feel about Indians? I don't understand the question, Raggle Fraggle. I'm one of those people, I get along with everybody. Like, you don't have to be any nationality. Could be my best friend, or they could be an asshole. You know what I mean? The color of your skin or your background or your upbringing has nothing to do with it, if that's what you're saying. Yeah, either way, like I have friends. I have a friend from Pakistan. I haven't talked to him in a while. Like I said, if you're good people, you're good people. It don't matter, Yeah, exactly, JJ. It depends on the person itself. Nobody chooses their color in the womb. I completely agree. And I've got friends of all nationalities, you know what I mean? And like JJ said, there's good and bad people from all races. So, if you're a bad person, I'll pray for you. You know what I mean? If you're a good person, you might become a friend. You know, it's got nothing to do with any of that stuff. So, but I appreciate your question. And if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button. I appreciate it. It helps with getting the message out. I love winter. My pillow and blanket and my fuzzy blanket I have on my bed gets really cold and I'm able to sleep like a... Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. Like when that bedroom is cold, oh man, I sleep great. I don't want to get out from under the covers, to be honest with you. I do not do well in the heat, you know? So can you guys hear me okay with the AC unit going in the background? Or should I go back inside? And then we can hear the dryer in the background. Let me know what you guys think. Or should we get ready to wrap this thing up for the night? I'm back to work tomorrow, so I won't be talking to you guys again probably until Sunday. I'll probably be working Saturday night. Got to get that money, guys, you know? But, you know, I appreciate everybody participating in this live tonight. It's always a good time with you guys, so... And hopefully we can reach some people that... Okay, Nicholas. I don't think I much look like him at all, but thank you. So, yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and hit all. That way when I go live, you can participate in the conversation, and, you know, we see where it goes, you know? Like, these lives wouldn't be anything without all of your participation, so I appreciate you all. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Nicholas. That's not gonna happen at all. The wifey likes it, so. I mean, I could grow it back. What about 1K? Hit the Cash App. But I can't tell you how many people have gotten on here and said stuff like that and don't do it. So, I get it, you know. Does everybody have a price? Absolutely, in my opinion. I've got a price, but, you know, it's not going to happen. So, anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up for the night. I appreciate everybody's participation. Do me a favor and hit that like button on the way out if you would. Oh, the sexy Latina has spoken. Happy, I know. Would call me crazy because even though my room felt like a freezer, I would still have the fan on full blast in my face. Yeah, my wife needs to have a fan on at night as well. Actually, I've kind of grown accustomed to it. If I don't hear the humming of the fan, it's hard to sleep. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. And you can reach me at the email in the description if you have any questions you'd like to ask offline. Go for it right there, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Faith, family, fitness, and freedom are the things that allowed me to get my life together, and they can help you as well. You know, it all starts with day one, guys. Whether you have 2 hours of sobriety or you have 20 years, it all starts with day one. So you have to make a decision that you're tired of living the way you're living and go from there. You know what I mean? If you're not ready, you're not ready. I get it. You know, the 12 steps will change your life, though. I can tell you that much. Find a sponsor and, you know, go to a meeting and find a sponsor and take it from there, and you'll be blown away by the results that you can get. You know what I mean? So, anyways, everybody have a great week. It's just one day at a time. Don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.